What do I do if my appraisal comes in low? That's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. Hi there, what is up? I'm Kathy Williams, your friend in real estate here in Orlando, and today we are talking about appraisal gaps. So what does it mean if there's an appraisal gap? Right now in the market, a lot of people are putting offers on homes and they're going over asking price, or they're doing an escalation clause that allows the offer to exceed a certain dollar amount. And so basically what's happening is that, then the home has to be appraised, and the lender is only gonna give you what the home appraised for. So then there may be a gap. So say the home appraises at $500,000, but your offer was $520,000. Well, guess what? You may have to come up with $20,000 cash at the closing table. And so there's a lot of complications that can come from that. One, do you have the money to come to the closing table? Because you're already coming with your down payment and your closing costs. So now you have to have an extra $20,000. And do you think that's a fair appraisal? There's just so many different scenarios that are happening right now. So I wanted to give you a few examples, just real life scenarios of situations that I've been in, and I thought you might find that interesting. The names will remain confidential to protect the innocent. No, just kidding. To protect my buyers, but I'm going to give you the exact dollar amount so you can have an idea of what the scenario was and the dollar amount and the appraisal was. So the first client we're just going to call Bob, and Bob was looking at a pool home that was listed at $460,000. And it's a beautiful home with a screened pool enclosure on a great big lot, beautiful neighborhood, great location, close to his work. Everything was perfect for Bob and his family. And they had already put in at least 5 other offers on homes that had not been accepted. So they had been beaten out 5 times. So they were getting a little nervous at this point. So we ended up finding this house on the market. It was listed at $460,000. So with their escalation clause, they came in, their max price being $500,000 with an appraisal waiver. So they did have to come to the table with several $1,000s at closing. But they were happy to do that because really they wanted the house. It was the perfect house. It was close to work. It was great school zone, everything they wanted for their home. And honestly, this happened 3 months ago, and if they were to close on it today, it would be worth what they paid for it. Prices have gone up that much. So that's one example. Another example we'll call Susie. And Susie and her family were moving here from out of state as well, and they were looking at a home that was listed for $450,000. Now they had also seen a couple other homes that they put in offers in as well at the same time because they were only here for a couple of days. They needed to get a house. So they put in a total of 3 offers, and oddly enough, all 3 offers got accepted. All 3 offers were at different offer prices, different terms, so they were able to decide which one they wanted. So they selected the house that was listed at $450,000. Their escalation went all the way up to $520,000 on this one. So now we are looking at a lot of money over asking price, right? And they ended up doing inspection on the home, and due to I think it was the air conditioner, there was something with the home that we adjusted the price down to $510,000. So now we're at $510,000 doing the appraisal, kind of nail biter, if you will, and the home ended up appraising at ding 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 $520,000. So that was awesome. They didn't have to come to the table with any cash. Their home appraised over the amount that they bought it for, and who would have thought? The house started at $450,000, but it actually appraised at $520,000. So that was a great success for them. And again, this house needs a few little things done to it, a couple bathroom updates, so it's going to be worth even more down the road. Just want to give you one more example. Call her Josephine. And Josephine put an offer in on a townhome, and the asking price was $390,000, and they came in at $399,000 and won the contract. And it did not appraise at $399,000. And so she did have to pay the difference. It was about $5,000 difference. But she was super happy to do that because the very week that she closed, 2 more homes came on the market that were over the price that she paid for hers. So she was perfectly happy with that scenario as well. So what's happening here is the appraisers a lot of times are not having time to catch up with what's actually happening in the market. So that is one of the scenarios with appraisals. So questions on appraisal gaps. Should you do them? Should you not do them? When in this market, you almost always have to go over asking price. It's just It's part of what's going on in the market. So in order to be competitive and to beat out other buyers that are looking, you have to go over asking price, and you have to be, in some cases, willing to pay the difference between the appraisal and what the purchase price is. It's a scenario that's, there's pros and cons to it, but basically with the market, what I'm telling people, and I believe to be true, is that as long as you're going to stay in the house for at least 4 or 5 years, with the increases in prices in the homes that we are getting, just in the past year, it's been 22%, it's all going to work out. So even if you do have to come a little over and bring cash to the table, if you were to get an appraisal done in 2 or 3 years, I'm sure you would be well over that. So it's uncomfortable, and it's, not, people don't like it, and I don't like it, but it's kind of where the market is right now. And so we have to work with what the market is in order to get a house, basically. So I just wanted to let you know, out of the 8 homes that I did sell in June, 4 of them were homes with appraisal gaps and 4 weren't. So it's not 100% of the time, it's like maybe 50% of the time. It's not always that you have to go way over asking price and get the appraisal, have the appraisal gap in there. There are situations where you don't have to. And more importantly, it's just trusting who you're working with, who your realtor is, to guide you and give you the best advice on the house, because of course they're going to do a comparative market analysis on the house to give you all the information so you're making a wise decision with your offer. So I hope that was helpful today. I just wanted to give you a little insight into what's going on with the appraisal gaps right now, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer. Feel free to reach out if you have any specific questions for me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye now.